Good, bright, and beautiful Monday, everyone. Welcome to the second day of August 2021. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith for GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And we're going to take a look at the atmosphere for this week ahead and what that entails in your forecast. And we'll start out as we usually do with Rutgers University Meteorology Program in New Brunswick, New Jersey, where the temperature is 73 degrees and the wind is out of the west at 9. And gusting in out of the west-southwest at about 13 miles an hour. It's a beautiful morning outside this morning. Morristown is at 75, West Creek 74, also at Point Pleasant and Little Egg Harbor and Hamilton, New Jersey. Cool spots this morning. Vernon Township 62, also at High Point Monument 65 at High Point itself. The bottom part of the monument there. Wantage also at 66 and Hackettstown at 67. Other temperatures around the region at 10:45 this morning. They're in the upper 60s across most of the area and the low to mid 70s just about everywhere else. It's just absolutely gorgeous outside. Minimum temperatures this morning were in the 50s across most of the area, a few lower 60s as well. Beautiful. Lots of puffy cumulus clouds entering the fold this morning, with the mixing of the sunshine and the day on the west-northwest winds. Is a look at the visible. Water vapor channel is going to be quite dry, with dry sinking convergence over the area here. Notice how we were stuck between this system here and this system here yesterday with a lot of cloud cover, but that's not the case today. And from the Mid-Atlantic region's River Forecast Center, here is the year-to-date aerial precipitation departures for New Jersey. This is off our GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com site, and you can see the link right up here. For the year today, and now this is ending at 7/31, so that is ending at the end of July. We'll have further updates. It was over the weekend, so the new data will be coming in later today. For the year, we're running a couple of inches below normal on average, but you'd think that that was not the case in July. And it wasn't, because it was wet, 51 to 75% and 26 to about 50% above normal averages here for the month of July. So it's been a wet July, but still for the year, we're still a little bit below average, but not by much. And of course, the 7-day mean is going to show us that we're below average here. In most cases, we're about average in others. Now for the year, let's get to the year here, 180 days, 365 days from last August the 1st, 2020, terrible year, to the end of July here, 2021. It has been above normal, and in many areas well above normal. So we have no drought situation going on here. And if you're hissing, sneezing, and wheezing, it's because of the grasses, the nettle, and the plantain around the region. It's yesterday was medium, today is medium 2. And I do believe that when we did this yesterday, the forecast for the next 5 days looks to be in the mid-range here, getting up into the mid to high range on Friday. And visiting flu star this morning is not necessarily a great thing, because yesterday and a couple of days before, we were spreading high concentrations of the new variant called Delta through the Delta regions here of the southeastern United States, especially Missouri and Arkansas. It's now expanding across large portions of Louisiana, and this is alarming to me, because this here in Florida was not like this a couple of days ago. It's on the medium to high side, and it's rising. That is the latest on COVID. Cold and flu, well, in areas that have COVID, obviously you're going to have cold and flu kind of like symptoms across the area. Also coughing, that could be allergies here in southern New England, and lots of coughing here going on where there is COVID. And strep throat, obviously that's going to be pronounced here across the southeastern states and also northern New England. Fever, everybody's got a little bit of a fever. I don't know what the fever's about, but we've got one. And of course, nobody seems to have the flu these days. Once again, everything is always about COVID. Interesting, right? Well, the National Hazards Map today looks very interesting. Also across Portland and Seattle here, and that is for excessive heat watches in effect from Tuesday tomorrow morning through Wednesday evening, where the heat continues. In the greens here, I'm sure this is going to be a flash flood watch in effect from noon today, Mountain Daylight Time, through this evening, anywhere in the green areas with the monsoon season is ongoing and continues to produce copious amounts of precipitation. Here in this area, we have an excessive heat watch effective from Tuesday morning through Wednesday evening. And there's some fog out there this morning too. I'm sure this is going to show up. Air quality alert. Yeah, it's air quality and fog. And these areas here over Iowa and Minneapolis and into this region here. Nothing is going on here except in Florida. And in Florida, we can pull this up. We have heat advisories until 7 p.m. this evening. Take off the hazards map and get to observations. And let's just do air temperatures right now, nationally across the region. Let's see, pull this up. Yeah, pull this up, lower this down a little bit. Here's the national look at temperatures this morning. Again, upper 80s to lower 90s here in Florida. And it's quite nice here in the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area and in New England as well, southeastern Canada, with temperatures in the 50s and 60s. And this is just the early morning hours here in Mexico and across the west. So temperatures are really going to start rising. Let's take a look at the fire weather. Yeah, believe it or not, there is still quite a lot of fire weather out there, especially over the Intermountain West and where the fires have been burning. Visibilities this morning, well, they're quite low where there's a lot of cloud cover and shower, thunderstorm, or even fog and haze across the area. In the East Coast, everything looks good. Still quiet in the Atlantic Ocean waters here. We'll get into the satellite imagery in just a moment, but there's hopes, believe it or not, that something is going to pop here off the Cape Verde Islands, off the coast of Africa, and then impact somewhere here, but we'll get into that in a moment. Eastern Pacific, we have Ignacio, which is a tropical storm. Winds of about 40 miles an hour. Central pressure about 1,005 millibars, moving to the west-northwest at 8 knots. And we've got Hurricane Hilda with 80 mile per hour winds. That is generally a Cat 1 storm here, burgeoning on Cat 2. Minimum central pressure 988 millibars. It's moving to the northwest at about 7 miles per hour. And this area here, as of 5 a.m., an area of low pressure, the remnants of Tropical Depression 9E, producing a broad area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms about 1,400 miles to the west-southwest of the southern tip of Baja California. Other than its proximity to Hurricane Hilda, somewhat favorable environment conditions could allow this system to redevelop into a tropical depression in a couple of days, while the low moves west-northwest at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. There's about a 50% chance in the next 48 hours and even 5 days. Broad spectrum here of the convergence zone here. We'll do this a little bit at a time. Here are our storms here out in the Pacific. We have showers and thunderstorms, sometimes the satellite. This is the simple water vapor channel here, but it's showing you there's a lot of interesting features. Lots of upper level lows here over the other side of the world here, and also in the Gulf of Alaska here. Notice the high pressure ridge with our negative PDO here, upper low south of the Aleutian Islands here. This is a classic signature, by the way, for developing La Nina that is on the way. And if we stop this all the way at the end here, even though this image doesn't look, it looks striated here, but things are very interesting to me in this pattern. We'll do the simple water vapor global sectors here in the east. Here's our storms here in the Pacific, 1, 2, 3. And along the intertropical convergence zone, we do have waves coming off the coast of Africa, but they are being sheared out right now. They are. And another feature here is the frontal boundary that's stalled off of the coast between Cuba and off of the northern mid-Atlantic coast. This is going to be a focal point for precipitation chances this week as we head into the northern mid-Atlantic forecast coming up. Let's start by using the overlay here on the visible satellite spectrum this morning, dialing you back to, I believe, yesterday. It's possible. A couple of vortexes working their way through on the northwest flow. And right along the Appalachian Mountain chains here is our cumulus forming and billowing into northwestern New Jersey this morning on a west wind aloft and a northwest flow at the surface. This is a northwest flow at the surface and a west flow aloft. So there's a lot of convergence and confluence in the atmosphere, and that is setting up for this to happen on the water vapor channel where everything is just completely dry. Obviously, the boat and beach forecast for New Jersey coastal waters, there is a low threat of rip currents. That doesn't mean there aren't any rip currents, folks. It does mean that you need to swim near lifeguarded areas, away from piers and jetties and underpasses. And there is a moderate risk of rip currents for all of the New York facing coastal waters. Let's get you into some of these forecasts here for today and for the week ahead. And we'll start out with Sandy Hook. And of course, today is going to be mostly sunny, which it is, and high temperature around 79. There is a high ultraviolet index view. We are on the second day of August, so it is definitely a burning index, to be sure. Temperatures are in the water temperatures are in the lower 70s, so the air is a little bit warmer than the water right now, and that's going to feel really refreshing. Tomorrow, there'll probably be mostly cloudy skies, and we'll get into that in just a moment. There's a chance of showers on Wednesday, about 30%. Chance of showers, lots of clouds around here on Wednesday night, and Thursday. So your best days is today, believe it or not. That is your best day to go to the beach. And I'm not there. And if you're in Seaside Heights or heading down there, the water temperatures are now in the mid-70s, okay? And there is a low risk of rip currents. However, you know never to swim near groins, jetties, reefs, or piers, and always swim near lifeguarded areas. The best day today, the best day of the week actually for the beach is today. Not so tomorrow, and pretty much not the rest of the week either. That depends on your perspection. You know, if you're there, and you like cloudy skies, and even a shower or thunderstorm, then you're going to get it. I'll start off with the weather charts here from the Weather Prediction Center here. Here's the cold front. Here's secondary cold front moving through in the afternoon, washing out against this trough axis here across southern New England. High pressure over the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes area settling in. Notice all this moisture here. This is monsoon rain here. And this is the old frontal boundary with tropical moisture associated with that. And that's going to make for a very difficult week on the East Coast, especially over the northern mid-Atlantic area, because we're going to have high pressure dominating predominantly. However, there will be lee side troughs and perturbations moving through the flow. And then the rain chances begin to increase as we head into Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. With waves of low pressure right along the frontal boundary off the southeast coast and off the mid-Atlantic coast too. Thursday looks like a wet day. As the front backs in a little bit further towards the coast, there could be more appreciable rain right along the coast, less rain over the interior of New Jersey, the New York City metropolitan area. But that front isn't really moving anywhere. No. Not really. Nope. Not really. Going to be interesting to see just how wet it gets across the southeastern states today through tomorrow morning and across the next 5 to 6 and 7 days here. It's going to be quite wet over the next 7 days over the southern mid-Atlantic, the southeast, and Florida and the Gulf Coast as well. Look out. Yeah, if you're in the Carolinas, I'd look out too, because this spells trouble for people who I know are on vacation. Taking a look at this morning's NAM model guidance, there's a lot of dry air in the water vapor channel over us right now through Tuesday night, and Wednesday. But it does look interesting to me because areas through central and southern New Jersey and along the coast where that channel of water vapor is located, and also the channel of moisture from the tropics and the old frontal boundary is located, and that makes inroads here across all areas, better than 1 inch of, precipitable water as we head into Wednesday. So things are going to thicken up here. Cloud cover is going to thicken up, and rain is going to come down too. And under this domain, by the time we get into Wednesday night and Thursday, look at this plume of moisture just off the coast. With better than like 2 inches of liquid equivalent here and even here. The only saving grace is the Poconos in northwestern New Jersey. Is a tight edge here between that area and Morris County and south, where there's going to be showers and thunderstorms. Very little cloud cover over the area today. For the most part, that's going to increase on tonight and Tuesday morning. Now, this is mid and high level cloud cover, and it should stick around during the day on Tuesday, and that's the reason why the forecast, even for the beaches tomorrow, is calling for mostly cloudy skies. If we look at the NCEP NAM model total cloud cover for Tuesday morning into the afternoon, not seeing much of a change here. And get breaks in the action again on Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, but not really so much. And plenty of cloud cover here is showing up on Wednesday as well. Breaks in between, but not much. No. No. The answer is no. NAM model guidance is very dry throughout the forecast period until we get into about, let's say, Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, just clipping the South Shore and east ends of Long Island and also coastal southeastern New Jersey. But, even this tells me that we're in for a lot more rain, especially if you live along the coast. This takes you out to Wednesday night. Now, we're going to switch into another model. Last night's European model shows that trend of the backing front into the coast as we head into Thursday. So that's going to mean rain. And the heaviest of rains will probably be along the coast, South Shore and east ends of Long Island. But that trend is going to continue, and there'll be diurnal showers and thunderstorms with waves coming through the flow here as we head into the weekend. Not a washout by any stretch of the imagination, but very interesting as we're moving through the flow here in August. Back on the ranch here, let's move this back here. High temperatures today, basically in the low to mid 80s, upper 70s, away from the coast on a northwest flow. Tomorrow on Tuesday, temperatures again in the upper 70s to low 80s. And things really begin to spike out as we head towards Thursday, Friday. Temperatures back in the mid and upper 80s away from the coast over the inland areas here. Hot and humid air mass setting up. Upper 80s again in the urban areas away from the coast on Saturday and Sunday as well. Yeah, we're going back into a summertime pattern once again, briefly. And that's going to do it for this morning's edition here at GardenStateWeather.com. GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. You make it a pleasant Monday and a great day to be outside. Enjoy yourself.